My God, let us draw a fairy garden. May journaling has been for me all about testing the different art supplies I got from Pentel. I got this beautiful watercolor pencil so I can draw them with pencil, and then I can add water to them and blend them, and I'm still working on my fine tuning the skill. They're not very good, and I decided to move a bit away from always using the brush pens because they are quite intensive, and I got this brush sign pen for artists which really give a very fine finish and drawing. And then what better way to do it than to start with my cover page. As you can see, I'm drawing a fairy garden. Our garden is a bit of case playground, case fairy garden, and it felt just right to draw a little bit of doodle and what all the things that we see in our garden, her shells, her toys, her sand toys, what we call Sandspielzeug, which has a lot of sand cars in different beautiful colors. And I felt like drawing my brush sign pen artist and the pencils, and it came out, I think, a really nice version of the doodle, and I'm happy how it looks like. It looks just like a sticker. Should I make it a sticker? You guys have to tell me if I should make it a sticker. Okay, and then now moving on to the main color page, I am going to show you, this is a part of the real thing that is happening in our garden. We got a play tower for our kid, and the play tower came in a big palette, and instead of throwing it off, we decided to paint it red, and the red was just so striking. I am not just painting it red, I have hang different flower boxes and flower vases. I'm allowing flowers in them. I'm allowing vegetables to grow, a little bit of herbs, and it just looks, it's not an aesthetic add for the garden, but it also is useful addition for the garden. That was what I wanted to capture in my May page. And also while capturing it, I wanted to see a comparison between all the pencils that I have got, these watercolor pencils. What happens if I just paint with them? What happens if I add watercolor to them? How do the brush pens work, the normal brush pens? How do the brush sign pens compare as the artist sign pens that I got? How fine are they? Oh God, they are fine, I have to tell them. And another thing is that I got a lot of these color Fineliners, and I just wanted to use them and try to see. They're just so amazing. They're fine pointed, so I don't always need to use the energies, and yet they have a variety of color between my energies, my watercolor pencils, my shine pens. I think I have had a lot of color spectrum to play with, so I was pretty sure that I will be able to recreate my red palette, which is a Swedish red. So it's not really fully red, flaming red, but it's more like a muted crimson red, and I can bring it up. Now you have to tell me, when I show you a short preview of the palette in the real life garden, how good my drawing was. Some of it is also in my imagination, I have to say. I am imagining, I planted a lot of nasturtiums. Some of them have died, so I have to replant them because of this April -degrees, but they were like growing really old and crazy inside the house, and so I had to plant them outside. And a part of it is also me imagining how my garden will look 4 weeks from now, towards the end of May, when the weather is much better. All the hard work that I have put in creating all February and March has been about a lot of hard work in the garden. You remove the old dead plants, you remove the store, you put layers of mulch on them, you prepare the beds. I again got a few new beds, and then from April onwards, when spring slowly begins to come, you start planting your crop outside. April is a weather where you do not know what to expect. One day it was really hot and warm and sunny, and the next day it was just -3 degrees in the morning. So I never know what to expect out of April, but I had to prepare myself, and May is when finally I see the result of all the hard work coming into bloom. The flowers are growing, the tagetes are growing, the nasturtium, or what we call in German Kapuzinenkresse, they are moving. I also have gotten myself a jasmine, but I have not put it outside for sure, because I wanted the jasmine to climb onto the white jasmine flowers to climb onto this red palette. And I just wanted to have a preview of how it will look when May is moving forward towards the end of May, entering summer in June, and how this beautiful red palette will look, how it will amplify the beauty of my garden. And I just could not wait to sketch it out. So this is a part of the reality what is in my garden. It is a part of the what I imagine. So part of my imagination, a part of my creation process. And it took me a long time to paint and create all the flowers and the stand. I usually do not have so much time for art. I am not an artist, and my bullet journals are so functional most of the time, but I decided to take the time off and play with all the beautiful art supplies that I have gotten for myself and also for the shop. And what better way to demonstrate their use than use them myself? So that was also one of my big motivation to start painting. As you can see, I have used a lot of the fine liners to do the flowers. I would be using a lot of the fine liners to also do the border of the palette. And as I decided not to always use it with black, I did start with black, but I decided not to use the black. And the pencils are such a great addition. They are so soft coloring. I love the brush pens, but the brush pens can be so intense, and these colorings are so soft. And then I would, if I wanted to make it blend it better, then I would use the watercolor blending. And the colors also dry up pretty quickly. And I have to say, I have been using my Archer & Olive 160 GSM page notebook, and the colors and the quality do hold up a lot. You would need to give the watercolor some time to dry up, but once when it is dry, it looks so beautiful. And this is exactly how I want the corner of my garden to look. My entire garden, it should be full with bloom, it should be full with color, it should be full with life after the winter. And after all the stress of 2025, I want 2026 to bloom into it. And I am so very happy to see how it keeps blooming. On other news, we are going to host also a giveaway for this. If you are still hearing this video, it's sometime in May, you still do have chance to join the giveaway. If you are living within EU, this giveaway is only available to people within the EU. You just have to follow the giveaway post, and you can subscribe to a newsletter, and you'll be part of the giveaway. And then you can get to win also some of those beautiful fine liner pens. I'm also putting a 160 GSM page notebook from Scribble and Dot for the giveaway. But aside from that, I'm happy that I got some time in April this year, thanks to Easter vacations and other less stress at work. I would say that I got to indulge in them. As I said, I am not an artist. I cannot really paint like a professional artist, but I have been working on my doodles since the last couple of years, and I feel like with every time I try, the progress can be seen. I do take the help of Google. I research how a doodle for a certain thing should look like, and the feeling of putting a paint to your hand and drawing something, it's so creatively satisfying, and it's so therapeutic that when I think of my work stress, the meetings, the coordinations, everything, and then I just go all in with my notebooks and with my pens and my pencils, and my inspiration is literally outside my home office, and all the work that I do in my inspiration to get them done, and it just feels so good. And the end result comes out also in my eyes beautifully. At least I think I have done a wonderful progress when I see my journal from 2021 to now in 2026, when I seriously started to journal, that I have done a remarkable progress in my journaling, and I'm so very happy for it. And I wish you to also I wish you that you would find also creativity and journaling for yourself, that you will discover the joys. You don't always have to have the best supplies, but if you can find some time to indulge in any of your creative pursuits in the crazy world that we live in, please do indulge in it. And with that, I'm signing off. I hope you enjoyed my drawing.